Introduction to the Book of the Zohar by Rabbi Yehuda Ashlag. 1. Since the depth of wisdom in the holy book of the Zohar is carefully 1,000 locks, and our human language is too poor for us, the holy book of the Zohar is thoroughly hidden behind 1,000 locks, and our human language is too poor for us to find, to give an exhaustive explanation. Even one word of this book, I have made a commentary, which is nothing less than a ladder, in Hebrew, sulam, by means of which the reader may ascend to the heights of these words, and to think and gaze for himself into the meaning of what is written in this book. Therefore, I have deemed it necessary to prepare the reader and to show him the way and approach to the study and comprehension of this book, by drawing his attention to the limitations must be borne in mind. 2. To begin with, you should know that in the book of the Zohar, even in the words of the Haggadah contained in it, refers exclusively to the locations of the 10 Sfirit, called Keter, Hakma, Bina, Hesed, Vura, Tefereth, Netzach, Hod, Chesed, Malhut, and their combinations. Locations. Just as the 22 letters of the language we speak and their combinations are sufficient for us to be able to reveal any desire and any wisdom, in the same way, the arrangements of the 10 Sfirit and the combinations of their locations are sufficient to reveal all the wisdom contained in of this heavenly book. In fact, this disclosure is subject to 3 limitations, which must be treated with great care, so as not to go beyond them while studying written in this book. I will briefly characterize them, and then I will explain them in detail. 3. The first limitation, which is, that in comprehension there are 4 categories, called Homer, i.e., material, Surah Sheba Homer, i.e., the quality inherent in material, Surah Mufshatet, i.e., the abstract quality, and Mahut, i.e., essence. The same is true of the 10 Sfirit, which I will explain further on. And know that the book of the Zohar has absolutely nothing to do with the essence or the abstract quality inherent in the 10 Sfirit, but only with the material contained in them, or the inherent quality when it is clothed in. Material. 4. Constraint 2. If to characterize the relationship of all divine reality with the creation of souls and with the ways in which of maintaining their existence, we distinguish 3 states in it, viz. 1. Ein Sof, Baruch. Hu, i.e., the infinite, 2. The world of Asalat, and 3. The 3 worlds, called Bria, Yetzirah, Asiya. Know that the book of Zohar does not deal with anything other than the 3 worlds Bria, Yetzirah, Asiya, and the infinite, and the world of Asalat, only, insofar as Bria, Yetzirah, Asiya receive from them, but with the infinite, and the world of Asalat themselves, the book of the Zohar has absolutely no case at all. 5. Restriction 3. Since in each of the worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya without exception, there are 3 steps, 1. God's 10 Sfirit shining in these worlds, 2. Neshamat, Rushat, and Nafshat, i.e., the 3 lowest stages of souls, of the sons of Adam, 3. The remaining parts of the being, contained therein, which are called Malachim, i.e., angels, Lavashim, i.e., the garments, and Haikalat, i.e., the palaces, the chambers, and their particulars are not the worlds of the Lord and of the people of the land of Israel. The details of the particularities of each world, you should nevertheless know that the bulk of what is written in the book of the Zohar always draws attention only to the steps of the souls of the sons of Adam who are in these worlds. And what it says and explains about the rest of the stages informs only of how much the souls receive from them, and that which. Not concerning the receipt by the souls, the book of the Zohar says not a single word. Therefore, in every words given in the book of the Zohar, you must comprehend only that which concerns the receiving of souls. And since these three limitations are very serious, and if the reader did not know to exercise caution and conclude beyond these limitations, he would immediately be confounded, I have found it necessary to make an effort to broaden the reader's understanding of these three limitations as much as possible, and that they to be comprehensible to everyone. 6. And you already know that the 10 spirit are called Chokmah, Bina, Tifereth, and Malhut, and their source is called Kathar, and there are 10 of them, because that one Sphira Tifereth contains within it 6 spirit called Hesed, Vura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. And remember this wherever. We usually say that the 10 spirit are Chokmah and Bina, Tifereth and Malhut. And if one to take the most general, they connect together all of the 4 worlds of Atzilut, Bria, Yetzirah, Asiya, for the world Atzilut is Sphirat Chokmah, the world of Bria is Sphirat Habina, the world of Yetzirah is Sphirat Hatifereth, and the world of Asiya is Sphira Hamalhut. And as for particular, it is not limited to the fact that there are 10 spirit every world, without exception, has 10 spirit. Chokmah, Bina, Tifereth, and Malhut. But even in smallest particle of each world also there are these 10 spirit Chokmah and Bina, Tifereth, and Malhut, as written above in the preface to the book of Zohar, Paras. 44, 51-61. Look carefully at what is written there, and here it is impossible to go on about it any longer. 7. And it ascribes the book of the Zohar to these the 10 Sphirat, Chokmah and Bina, Tifereth and Malhut, are 4 colors. White to Sphira Chokmah. Red is Sphira Bina. Green is to Sphira Tifereth. Black Sphira Malhut. As written below, in the book of the Zohar on the weekly reading of Bereshit, Volume 2, page 14. 27. Explanation. Let us take as an example a window glass, consisting of 4 colored panes of these the very 4 colors. And although the same light penetrates the glass, the same light, nevertheless when it through the colored glass, it takes on colors, and 4 kinds of light are formed, white, red, green, and black light. In the same way, the light enclosed in all the Sphirat is the unity in simple unity from Rosh, world, Atzilut to the Soph, world, of Asiya, and the division into 10 spirit, Chokmah and Bina, Tifereth and Malhut, occurs because of the vessels called Chokmah and Bina, Tifereth and Malhut, for each. is like an obstacle that allows the light to pass through which the divine light passes on its way the recipients, and therefore it is believed that each vessel creates light of a different color. Thus, the Chokmah vessel, which is in the world of Atzilut, lets the white, i.e., colorless light pass through, for the vessel of the world of Atzilut is like the light itself, and for this reason, the divine light does not change in any way when it passes through it. And this is the meaning of what the sages said in the book of the Zohar about the world Atzilut, for he, Masel, and his life, light, and his bones, vessels, are one in nature, as written below. See also Introduction to Wisdom Kabbalah, endpoint 6. And therefore the light of the world of Atzilut is considered to be the white light. This is not the case with the vessels of the worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya, where the light is already. Thanks to these vessels undergoing some change and becomes weaker, passing through them to the recipients, i.e. the comparison with the red light is applied to Bina, which represents the world of Bria. And the green light is compared to the light reaching to Phereth, which represents the world of Yetzirah. And the black light reaches Sphira Malhut, representing the world of Asiya. 8. And aside from this, there is a very important comparison with the four colors containing a very important indication. For the higher lights are called Sefer, i.e. a book, a scroll, as it is written in Sefer Yetzirah, chapter 1, Mishnah 1, and he created his world by means of three things denoted words written with the letters Sameh, Pei, Resh, Sefer, Sofer, i.e., scribe, and Cyper, i.e., story. And he also says, unfolded as a book. Of heaven, Yeshayahu, 34, for translation changed to according to the meaning of the text of Baal Sulam. The traditional translation of this verse is something like this, and the heavens rotated like a scroll. Thus the revelation of the wisdom contained in any book consists not in the white color enclosed in it is only in other colors, i.e., in the colors of the ink, from which the letters contained in the book, in the combinations, proclaiming this wisdom to the reader, for, in the most general terms, there are the following three kinds of ink: red, green, and black. Likewise, the world of Atzilut, that is, in fact, Sphirat, Chokmah, which is entirely B-. Essence, is on the level of the white color contained in the book, i.e., to us it is the heavenly book is on the level of white contained in the book. Inherent in the book of heaven is contained in the Sphirat. Bina, Tefereth, and Malhut, which represent the three worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya, which are on the step of the ink contained in the heavenly book, and Odiot, i.e. the letters, and their combinations, are revealed in the three kinds of ink mentioned, and only with their by means of them the divine light is revealed to the recipient. And at the same time it is necessary to understand that as the white color contained in book is the bearing basis therein, and all letters are unsubstantiated on the white background of the book, and without the white color could not at all the letters and the whole revelation of the wisdom. The world of Atzilut, i.e., Spirit. Ha-Hakma, which means wisdom, is the bearing basis of the revelation of wisdom, and it is revealed through the worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya. The essence of all the written letters is contained in wisdom, conceived in the world of Asilet. The word used is from the book of Daniel 6 verse 4, and the king intended to put him at the head of the whole kingdom. 9. And this is what we were talking about above, when it came to the limitation of the second, that the book of Zohar does not speak of the world of Asilet when it is itself, because the stage on which it is like the step of white in the book. But it speaks of the world of Asilet in connection with its luminescence in the three worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, Asiya, because that they are on the step of the ink, the letters, and the combinations of letters in the book. That is, this luminescence shines in two ways. Either the three worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, Asiya receive the glow of the world Asilet in their places, when the light, intended for them, becomes very weak, passing through Parsa, which is below the world of Asilet, until he becomes discernible only as a glow vessels of the world of Asilet, or by lifting the worlds of Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya above Parsa, to the place of Spirit Bina, Tifereth and Malhut, of the world, Asilet. And they appear to clothe the world of Asilet, i.e., they receive the light in the place of his luminosity. As it is written in the introduction to the wisdom of the Kabbalah, beginning with page 155 and following. 10. This comparison, however, does not quite correspond to the conclusion to be drawn from it to draw, for neither in the white color nor in the ink of the letters of the book of wisdom found in this world, there is no spirit of life, and, for this reason, the revelation of wisdom not in the essence of these letters, but outside of them, i.e., in the mind of the reader. This is not the case in the four worlds of Asilet, Bria, Yetzirah, Asiya, which constitutes the book of heaven, for all the brains contained in the spiritual and in material reality are found in them and come from them. And so understand that the white color, which in the book is the carrier, is the very idea of the book, and the three colors of the ink explain this idea. 11. And here it is necessary to deal with the four categories of comprehension given above, when speaking of the limitation of the first, viz. 1. In the material, 2. In the quality inherent in the material, 3. In the abstract quality, 4. In essence. But before I give them explanation, I shall say of the things felt in this world. For example, when you say mighty man, or truthful man, or false man, etc., before you arise, 1. The associated material, i.e., his body. 2. The quality inherent in of his matter, i.e., mighty, truthful or false. 3. The abstracted quality, i.e., what you can say about the mighty, the truthful, or the false, abstracting from the material in man and comprehending these three qualities when they are in themselves, without being clothed in anything material and in any body, i.e., comprehending the properties of mightiness, truthfulness, and falsity, and distinguishing in them the high or the shameful, when they do not touch anything material. 4. The essence of man. 12. And know that the fourth category, i.e., the essence of man, when it is in itself, without material things, is utterly incomprehensible to us. For our five senses and perception are only able to offer us the manifestation of the effects of the essence and not at all of what it, because the visual sense, for example, offers us only shadows of the visible of a visible entity insofar as they give the impression of light. And the auditory sense displays only the force of the impact of some entity against the air. And the air, repelled by this force, is acting on the eardrum of our eardrums, of our ears. And we can hear that there's an entity of an entity in our vicinity. And the sense of smell is just the air coming from the entity and affecting to our olfactory nerves, and as a result, we smell. And taste is also just the result of the contact of some kind of essence with our gustatory nerves. For none of these four sensations offers us nothing but the manifestation of an effect caused by some essence, but not at all the essence itself, and even touch, the strongest of the sensation which distinguishes hot from cold and hard from soft, is nothing other than the manifestation of internal processes in of the essence in question, representing only events occurring to the essence. For hot things can be cooled and cold things can be heated, and the solid can be softened and, by suitable action, to turn liquid, and liquid into a volatile substance, i.e., into a mere gaseous substance which has no connection at all with the qualities of which the five senses inform us, and yet the essence is still preserved in it, because you can, again, turn gaseous into liquid, and liquid into solid. And so it has become clear to your eyes that the five senses cannot reveal to us any the essence, but only the events that occur to it and the effects arising from it. And it is known that what we do not feel does not also reach our perception, and that which does not reach our perception, we can never to think, and we have no way at our disposal of the way of comprehending it. For in thought there is absolutely the comprehension of the essence is totally absent. And what's more, we don't even know what our own essence. For I feel and know that I occupy a place in the world, and that I am solid, hot, and that I thinking, etc., because of the manifestation of the effect of my essence. But if you ask me what my own essence from which all these manifestations, I don't know what to tell you. For Providence has not allowed us to comprehend the entire essence, and we comprehend only the manifestations and perceptions of the influences unfolding from the essences. 13. And category 1 is material, i.e., those manifestations of influences that are revealed from each entity. It is fully comprehended by us, for these manifestations explain to us the essence that resides in material things in a perfectly sufficient way, so that we don't suffer at all from a lack of comprehending the essence when it is itself. And we don't lack it in the same way that we do not lack the sixth finger on our hand. And the comprehension of the maternal, i.e., the manifestation of the effects of the essence is enough for us, and that's we have enough for all our needs and knowledge. Both for the comprehension of our own being, as well as to comprehend everything, that exists outside of us. 14. The second category, i.e., quality, clothed in the material, is also comprehended clearly and quite sufficiently. For we know it from the very practical experience that we gain by encountering everything material things that are all around us. And it is from here comes to us all our high knowledge on which we can confidently rely upon. 15. The third category, abstract quality, that is, after a quality has been revealed to us once, still clothed in something material, we can, by the power of our imagination, to imagine it completely abstracted from the material and know it by abstracting it. Abstracted from all material things. This is like the high qualities and virtues that appear in the ethics books when we talking about the qualities of truthfulness and falsity, anger, power, etc., considering them abstracted from all material things. And we refer them to the high or the low, even when they're abstract consideration. And know that this third category does not lead to the acquisition by the mind of unquestionable knowledge. For on them cannot be relied upon with 100% certainty. For when they are considered in abstraction from the material increases the probability of being wrong about them. For example, an idealist ethicist. Of idealist ethics, i.e., a non-religious. The person who is too much into the height of truthfulness when this quality is viewed abstracted from the material, even when it is necessary save certain people from death by lying to them, may decide for himself that the whole world, his mouth will not utter a word of a deliberate lie. And this is not the opinion of the Torah, for you shall not find anything that is above the salvation of life. Babylonian Talmud, Tractate, Yoma, p. 82a. Indeed, if he had comprehended these qualities, truthfulness and falsity, when they are clothed in material things, then they would be comprehensible to him only insofar as they are beneficial or detrimental material things. That is, if people, through the experience of the whole world, understood how much destruction and damage the liars have caused by the words of falsehood, and how much greater benefit has been done by truthful people by being wary of saying anything other than the words of truth, then they would agree that there is no virtue more important than truthfulness, and no vice worse than falsehood. And if the idealist understood this, then he would undoubtedly agree with the Torah and would conclude that the word of a lie, spoken in order to save even one person from death, is incomparably more significant than all the greatness and value of the abstract quality. Truthfulness. For there is absolutely no certainty about these comprehensions of the third category, which are abstract qualities. And needless to say, that the abstract qualities have never yet, and let it not be said that the abstract qualities have never yet been embodied in anything material, for to try to comprehend such qualities is only a waste of time. Waste of time.